My name is Grayson Cole, and this is my great-grandmother, Lela Tucker, and she is 91 years old.
I grew up during the Great Depression. Everybody was poor. Everybody, had a ration with everything. We had segregation at that time. We could not go to mixed schools until we was in the ninth grade. I went to a two-room schoolhouse that was in Chautauqua, Lebec County, Kansas. My mother had 13 children. My oldest brother and my baby sister died in infancy, and 11 of us lived to be grown. I was number 6, and now I'm number 1. All my sisters and brothers are gone, but 3 sisters. Everybody had big families. That's all they did. That's all. People raised children to grow crops and things. When we grew up, we played games at home. Everybody came to our house to play because there was a lot of us. And we would play like Annie Over. We throw the ball over the top of the house and one on the other side of the house would try to get it. And we played riding cans up and down the streets, We played ball in the streets. We grew up in a small town where they didn't have cars running up and down the streets. Of course, people didn't have cars like they do now. We didn't know what plumbing was. We had a hydrant where we got water outside. But we had no indoor plumbing. We had outdoor toilets. Everybody had wash tubs and boards where they washed their clothes. Everyone took a bath in the number 2 tub. It was a big tub. It wasn't an oblong tub, it was a round tub. When we was growing up, we did not have radios like we did now. Things that we didn't read, we didn't know about.
In high school, great-grandma Lela moved to Kansas City to get a job. That's where she met Harrison Tucker, my great-grandpa.
Well, he just asked me to marry him. And I guess I was glad to get away from home. We weren't like the youngsters today. We didn't get to go like y'all go. I got married in Kansas City, Kansas, at the courthouse, May 22nd, 1946. 10 cents, that's how much it cost to ride the streetcar. Rode to Kansas City, Kansas to the courthouse, and I had no identification but a Social Security card. So I had to come all the way back to Missouri, get my birth certificate to show that I was 18 years old. I told Daddy, and he didn't believe me. And it used to be in the Kansas City paper. And so I took the little piece of paper and cut it out and showed it to him that I was married.
They were married 64 years before my great-grandpa passed away.
He was the nicest person you ever met. He didn't meet a stranger. He was so nice to everyone, especially my family. You would think he was a son instead of a son-in-law.
In addition to raising a family, great-grandma Lela is very proud of getting a job to work with the courts.
At the time, that was back in 1954, and they had no blacks working other than elevator operators. So they appointed Carl Roman Johnson, and he was appointed a judge to be in the municipal courts of Kansas City. And so he went in and he said that he saw no black faces. All he saw was white faces. And so that gave me an opportune time to get hired. On a Tuesday, I applied for a job. Wednesday, I went for an interview. Thursday, they hired me. And I was the first black clerk to work in the courts of Kansas City, Missouri. I worked 3 years in the courts.
In my great-grandma's 91 years, she has lived through a lot of history.
When I first come to Kansas City, there was no integrated schools. Everything was separate. So I saw the schools change over. I saw people work together. I saw fellowship together. The day Martin Luther King died, I was on my way to file income tax with H&R Block. And Anita was with me. She was in college and she was with me. And that's when they announced he died. I remember that. Then they started writing in Kansas City and every place else. When Kennedy passed, yes, I was at work. I was sitting at my desk when they announced that he was assassinated. It was just numb. The country was numb with it.
Then, when she was in her 80s, Barack Obama was elected president.
That was history. That was history in the making.
And all that she has lived through, she is most proud of her family.
Raising my 3 daughters, sending them all through college, and their kids through college, and live to see them grown, have grandchildren, great-grandchildren. That's the greatest thing I did.